We are charting the higher octave with my guest today. I have Andrew Golding of the UK electro noise pop duo Dragon Welding.
Oh yeah,
Hello there. How are you? I'll call
I'm
you
good. I'm
Andy.
good.
Andy, right?
Andy's good. Yeah,
I want to be all proper like the English. Andrew Golding.
it was only my mother used to call me Andrew. So.
Oh yeah, I better not do that. All right. Well, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you in the show. And you are all the way in England.
Yeah,
So the about 7 p.m. over there your time, and over here is about 9 a.m. Hawaii time, which is always perfect. This is always the perfect time to do the interview with somebody from the UK because of the time difference. But it's a pleasure to have you. And so this project has been around for what is it, 2019 since then?
yes, that's
Yeah.
about right. Yeah,
Yeah. But I know originally you're with another, you were with and you still are with the legendary Essex-based indie noise pop band called the Wolfhounds.
yeah.
Yep. And you were the co-founder of that band as well, right?
Yeah, co-founder's a bit. That's not quite right. I've been with the Wolfhounds ever since they started recording. I think they were together a couple of years before I joined,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and then but I've been on every single record since 1985. So yeah.
Wow. So what made you decide to branch out and do this independent this is a different project. So I know you play several instruments.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Wolfhounds originally got together. I joined them in about 1984,
Mm.
and then we were together until 1990, and then we split up. And then after that, I did a few different kinds of things with different bands, and then the Wolfhounds got back together in 2005, and then we didn't start recording again until a few years after that. And then when we recorded our second album, Untied Kingdom, I just carried on writing, and some of the stuff didn't really fit in the Wolfhounds at that time. So I presented it to the record label we were with at the time, and they liked it and said, "Oh, we can release this as an album." So it started from there. Really, it was almost accidental that I
Oh,
started as
really? Wow.
Dragon Welding. Yeah,
Your debut album was called Dragon Welding,
yeah,
a self-titled album, and this was in 2019.
yeah,
And then 2 years later, you had an instrumental album called Lights Behind the Eyes.
yeah,
Yep. And then the third album was like a couple of years ago, Fictionary. I like that.
yeah,
And then so this is your fourth album now, which is I really love the title of this one and the song called The Naughty Step. And
yeah,
this has been released on Dimple Discs.
yeah.
Big shout out to him. I've done several interviews with bands in that label. So this one came out, and I love the this particular track especially because I can really hear the lyrics on the song, and they're kind of really, really deep and and thought out really well. So are you the lyricist as well?
Yes, I write all the music. Originally, I was going to. What happened was when I did Fictionary, there was a track on that album called "The Dark," which was sung by the guy who I work with, who produces and engineers all of my stuff, Ant Chapman from a band called Collapse Lung.
Oh, okay.
And I just couldn't sing the song properly. It just sounded like I sounded like a really miserable Robert Smith, which is like, can you imagine? So I said to Ant, can you sing this song for me? And he did it. And then when we came to play live, I said to Ant, can you come and sing play live? And he agreed, but unfortunately, he double booked himself for that gig. So I said to Nick, who I've known for a long time, I said, "Would you come along and sing live?" So he came along and he sang that song. And then after that, I thought, actually, this guy can sing quite well. So I said to him, "I've got a few new songs. Would you be interested in having a go at singing them on the album?" And he did them, and it came out really well. And the thing about Nick's voice is he's got a much better voice than I have, and his diction is, as you say, quite perfect. He really is very clear when he sings the lyrics. So
Yeah, they're
that's how
very clear.
it's about
Yeah,
really.
so what was I guess um the whole idea of this album? What was the theme, and did you come up with something? I mean, why did you pick that title? which is
Um,
it's very mysterious when you think about the naughty step.
well, the naughty step is I don't know if it's the same in where you are, but in the UK, the naughty step is if a child's been naughty, you send them to the naughty step, which is the one of the
Oh,
stairs in your
oh
house,
yeah.
and then
Okay.
it gives them time to reflect on what they've done. So
Oh.
that's literally what the naughty step is. Like you're sent to the naughty step, and then you have to like think about what have I done? Why have I been bad? So
I think I think in the US they you send the child to the corner of the room.
that's it. Yeah, the same concept. So yeah, but yeah. So it's always I never got sent to the naughty step because obviously I'm such a perfect person. So, but I think I sent my children to the naughty step once or twice. But my son would have taken it on board and done it, but my daughter just laughed at us and said, "What? Why? What are you doing?" It's like,
I know you talked about here on your press release about back in the day when you're growing up and your teacher would do this corporal what do you call punishment.
corporal punishment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a thing. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They were
I
they were allowed to hit you. Yeah.
yeah, I still remember that because I think I was one of the last. I mean, you do that now, you get sued.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That now you touch a kid, that's it. But I remember back then we used to. I mean, I never got that kind of. I never got whipped or hit by a teacher, but one of I remember a classmate that always had it was a boy, and he would always get his ears twisted, and they would go oh like that, and he would go ah. And I'm like, yeah, you do that now. Oh my gosh.
But that's what that line is about: remembering when, but not why. Because the teachers would say, "Right, come to see me after the lesson," and then they'd hit you. They didn't really hit you that hard, but they would like
Yeah,
hit you.
they
But
take
then
the ruler.
they'd remember that you were in the lesson, but they couldn't quite remember why you'd been naughty. So
Yeah, I wonder when they stopped doing that. Do you remember when they stopped doing that?
it was only when I started senior school, and it was literally for the first 2 years, and then it got outlawed in the UK. So it was like it became a thing of the past. But it was when we were in junior school, the younger school. It was always the threatening. The threat was, well, once you get to senior school, you won't be able to do that because we'll be able to hit you. And it's like, wow, it's like crazy.
I know, right? I know. Now you can't even say it. You can't even say
No, literally.
physically or abuse in any way, or you be in the paper right away, or yeah. And how did you guys collaborated with Nik?
As I said, he's literally, I've known Nik for a long time. He's a fan of the Wolfhounds. He used to come to all of our gigs and be down the front going crazy. And we played at a thing called the Preston Pop Festival a few years back. And Nik sang with a band on the Friday afternoon. And unfortunately, I didn't get there till the Saturday morning, so I didn't see him. So, but a few days later, someone put a video up on YouTube of Nik singing. I thought, oh wow, I didn't know he could sing. And so I sort of like logged it in the back of my mind. And then, as I said, when it came to doing a live show, I said to Nik, okay, this is your chance. Would you like to do it? And I
Mm,
called his bluff, and he came down and did it. And it went really well. So we've been working together since then, really.
yeah. So how did you start out as a musician?
Um,
Uh,
uh, wow.
I know you played several. What? So you played? I know you played the guitar that also all behind you.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I play guitar. Yeah. I used to play obviously when I was at school with friends and bands that never got anywhere, and we didn't really have any where to rehearse, so it was always in people's kitchens or bedrooms. And then I joined the Wolfhounds in 1983, I think, after meeting Paul Clark, the guitarist. We worked together in a hardware store,
oh,
and then I went to see them, and they were terrible. But I said, I can play keyboards in your band. And so I had an audition, and I just turned up with the guitar, and I told them I'd forgotten, I've lost my keyboard or something. So I started playing guitar with the Wolfhounds, and that was from like 1983, I guess, until 1990.
uh-huh.
So that's how I started. Yeah.
So what does that mean, Dragon Welding? How did that come about?
It's an anagram of my name, Andrew Golding.
Oh, oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I know. I was just playing around with an anagram generator one day, and it just came up, and I thought, well, that's too good to not use.
Wow. Yeah, I love the lyrics for the title, the Naughty Step. So what was the whole idea of that? The lyrics are just amazing. I mean, people listen to the song.
Yeah, I just, as I said, I just the naughty step in the UK is where you're sent when you're bad. So I just put some lyrics around that. Originally, I was singing the songs myself, and then I sent them to Nick, and they just sounded so much better. So
Oh, so
that's what we went.
how do you approach songwriting? Do you just one day, like, if something comes into your head, or do you just it just comes automatically sometimes? And
No, I'm terrible. I constantly write on my guitar, and then I'll record stuff into my iPhone or iPad, and then I'll just manipulate the sounds completely so they sound nothing like guitar, and then just work on the tracks, the backing tracks. But in parallel, I'll write lyrics as well, and then sometimes they just gel and come together. But other times, no. Sometimes I'll be walking down the road and something will come to me. Oh, that would be a good idea for a lyric, and I'll just have to sit down and write down the whole song, and then think about what tracks I've got to go with, and then the songs come about that way. So there's no real method that I use. It's just whatever happens. I'll use anything.
so that album cover, I know the picture there is kind of interesting. Where was that taken?
Yeah, so it's a friend, well, not a friend, a colleague of mine, Andy Royston, who is a sleeve designer. He's been working with the Wolfhounds ever since our first album, since Unseen Ripples from a Pebble, 1987. He's a great artist, a great graphic designer, and he's far better at articulating my ideas than I ever am. So I'll send him the idea. I want this, and then he comes back with some ideas, normally like five or six. But that one for the naughty step, he came back with that straight away, and I said that's the cover. That's exactly what I want, because the hat. I don't know if you understand, the hat on the front it's got DW on it.
Mm-hmm.
But in England, if you have a D on it, it means you're the dunce. It means you're the stupid person.
Oh, okay.
So it's got DW instead of D. So for Dragon Welding, obviously. So.
Ah, so is that a actual place?
No, I think Andy drew that, painted it.
Oh, you drew that. Okay.
Yeah,
When I think of the naughty steps, when I think of steps, I actually think of well, The Exorcist. The steps of that's what I think about, which is which is in Washington D.C. But it's really funny. Oh
there's,
wow. Okay,
there's a lot of naughty people in Washington DC at the moment.
yeah, you can say that again. Anyway, yeah, big shout out to Shameless Promotion PR. So how did you meet up with Shauna?
Shana worked on the first album actually. We've been on a record
Oh
label
yeah,
called
yeah.
a turntable friend. We've got a guy called I forgot his name. Oh, terrible. Who was really good, and he knew Shana. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's very good. So, but I've not worked with her for a while, so it's nice to be reacquainted with her again. Yeah, she's very good.
So before this album, you had actually two albums before that. That was an all instrumental album.
Yeah,
Yeah. So how did that come about? I know it's called Lights Behind the Eyes.
yeah. Lights behind the eyes. So yeah, I recorded quite a few acoustic guitar instrumentals, and I just again just started playing about with them on the iPad and the iPhone using GarageBand, which is what I use, which is a basically free, really. And I just started manipulating the sounds, and they just came together. And I never intended to do an instrumental album, but it seemed to work, and it's probably my most successful album so far, actually. So yeah,
Oh. So
I
if
don't know why.
if anybody wanted to check out your other music, how do they find your music for the
But Spotify is obviously the first place to go. All my music's on Spotify.
uh-huh.
I'm on a couple of different Bandcamp labels. The Dimple Discs have released the last three albums. So the Dimple Discs Bandcamp site is a place to start as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Then
yeah,
put this. All right. So that's where they would find the first this one as well.
yeah.
And I'll put a tag to that one. And and I know you had some guest appearances, right? On Fictionary.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my son and my daughter are both on it because they're far better musicians than I am. So we play in a band together called the Othyrs as well. So we've had a couple of albums out. The last one was on Dimple Discs, and then Chapman, as I said, he sang on one of the songs. So yeah, but it's mostly me and Nik. The latest one is just all me. I do all the instrumentation, and Nik does all the vocals, apart from a few backing vocals by myself. So.
So do you have any upcoming? I know you. I know that this was just released recently, but do you have any ideas for next album?
Yeah, we've got. I, I went through a completely crazy period of writing the middle of last year, and I just kept sending songs to Nik, and he kept sending back the vocals, and they all sound fantastic.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've got at least another 2 albums already ready to go. But
Wow.
I
Many
don't know when
tracks.
they're. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to come out because obviously Dimple Discs has got more artists than just me. So,
Wow.
so yeah, watch this space. But yeah, but the new stuff sounds even better than this stuff. I think there's
Oh,
a few
really?
songs
Oh, yeah.
really proud of, and Nik is just getting better and better as well because Nik hasn't sung in a band since the 80s. He used to be in a band called the Keatons, and he was in a band called the Spores. And ever since then, at the end of the 80s, he's not really done anything. So
Oh, yeah. What kind of music?
the Keatons actually supported the Wolfhounds back in '80s, so that was sort of guitar indie pop, I guess. The Spores, you'll have to ask Nik, and please do.
Yeah.
He's more interested than I am.
Do you guys
Uh,
play together live in where you?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have a keyboard, or I use an iPad and a couple of keyboards that I use as the backing tracks, and I play guitar over the top. And then Nik sings over the top, and then with the others as well. We've done a few gigs now where we've combined the two things together. So we've done 3 or 4 songs together as a completely live act, which works really well. And I'd love to do that all the time. That would be great, but like it's just not practical. Everyone's got day jobs. Everybody can't commit to like going around and touring the country. So but when we get together, it's good fun. It seems to gel really well together. So.
Yeah. I mean, I wish you brought him along. That'd be great. That was
The problem is as well, and Nik's lived in London his whole life, and then as
oh,
soon as we literally got together and decided this is going to work, he moved to Manchester, which is about 2.5 hours away from London. So it's completely impractical and annoying. Exactly the wrong time to have done that, but Nik and his wife, his partner, they live in Manchester, so we don't really get together that often, apart from playing,
okay.
recording, and rehearsing. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we're looking forward to the next release, but I know this has just been released, and I know you had a launch show recently, right? I'm sorry I missed it. It was March 1st. You had a launch.
Yeah. That was in a venue in London called the Betsy Trotwood, which is in Farringdon, which is sort of central London, I guess. So yeah, it went really well. It was a really good night. Excellent, very good.
Yeah, now I'll play the Naughty Step tonight, like I mentioned to you. It's a great song, and I thought it was really interesting lyrics too. So
Good,
that
thank you.
well, if anybody wanted to check out your music, it was the best way to do it. I know you have a website.
Yeah, so the best way is the Dimple Discs Bandcamp site. Or if to get acquainted, go to Spotify and look for Dragon Welding. All of my music is on Spotify. So
Yeah, and then you have your dragonweldingmusic.com, right? Is that
yes, if you go to my website, dragonweldingmusic.com, then there's links
okay?
to everything on there. I actually updated it today. I'm terrible at updating my website. I'm terrible, but I actually did it today, so all of the new stuff is on there as well.
So, what about for the Wolfhounds?
Yeah, I see Dave still all the time. He came to the last Dragon Welding gig we did in London before Christmas, so we're still friends. Dave's obviously very busy as a solo artist at the moment, and I'm quite busy doing the others and Dragon Welding. But yeah, we will get back together again one day. I'm not sure when, so because I love working with Dave. Obviously, he's a great lyricist and a great guitarist, and it's always good. So.
Yeah, and I know you guys are in. You have social media pages. You're in Dragon Welding and Facebook, Instagram, and we'll go follow you there. And you also got Blue Sky and other
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah. My YouTube channel is good. So like, all the, I do a lot of the videos myself. Me and myself and my wife. My wife's an artist, so we
Oh,
create a
she's an
lot of
artist
stuff
too.
together. Yeah, yeah. And obviously the last two, Andy Royston did videos for the Naughty Step and We Dance Among You, which were both fantastic videos. So yeah, I'm quite into the visual side as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be sure to link that as well. Uh,
Thank you.
well, anyway, we're looking forward to your next releases and congratulations on this release.
Thank you very much.
It's on Dimple Discs, Dragon Welding, and yeah, and Andy Golding. I'm not gonna say Andrew. I don't want to be like. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on the show. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much indeed. Take care.